So a new year has started and I'm going to go through some of the things that I achieved during my running in 2023. Some of them are quite small goals and some of them are a little bit larger, and so hopefully you can find some things that you were successful in last year as well. So let's start off with some of the goals that I shared with you. So at the start of last year, I made a little video, which you can probably see up in the corner somewhere, about all the goals that I wanted to achieve. And I think I shared like 5 in there. I'll go through them kind of quickly because there was also a few more goals that were just for me that I didn't share during that video because there wasn't really, any point. So the first thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to run or race four half marathons, and I didn't do this. I did 1 half marathon race and that was it. I signed up for another half marathon race, which is another trail race, and just when it came to it, I knew I hadn't trained properly for it, so I dropped down to the 10k event that was also going on at the same time, and I had a lovely time. I'm quite glad I didn't do the half marathon at that point, and I knew I wasn't in the right form for a half marathon last year, so I just kind of decided against that one. So I did 1, didn't complete the 4 though, so that one's a big no for that one. Then the next goal was also half marathon related, so if I wasn't feeling in half marathon shape, didn't do this one either, and that was to get a new half marathon PB. So I wanted to get under 1 hour and 42 for a half marathon, but I didn't do that because I just didn't really train for a half marathon. That's another one that I failed at. Goal number 3 is another time-based goal. So this was for a 5k distance. I wanted to run a 5k in under 21 minutes. In 2022, I managed to get a 22:30 5k, and I wanted to try and push that and get under 21. I think I was probably a little bit too ambitious because I didn't make that goal. I did 21:52, so I was about a minute away, which is still a 5k PB, so I'm taking that win. I'm not really saying that's a fail, I'm saying that's yeah, we did it right. And it might just mean more training next year. So actually look out for that because it might be coming quite soon when I try and reattempt that goal. Stay tuned. I think it will come out maybe the start of February because I'm training now to try and get a better 5k instead of doing long distance over winter. My 4th goal was a little bit easier, and this was just a generic distance total. So I wanted to run 1,000 kilometers. I think I ran more than
quite overgrown here.
I wanted to kind of set a goal that I knew I was
you're going down steps.
And whilst my running did take a hit last year, I didn't do as much running.
Step.
I did still manage this goal,
Keep
so
going
that's
down.
a big win.
Keep going down.
At the time that I'm filming this, I did 1,142 kilometers, and there is a couple more runs I'm probably going to do before the end of the year.
That's
so
right.
We'll still go over,
and a bridge.
Still pretty good. We're pretty safe.
And a bridge.
So yeah, that is a big tick for distance goal. I then also wanted to volunteer at a race because sometimes you do so many races that I also wanted to help out at a race, and I did do that. I did that very early on in the year. I think it was January. I helped out at the First Chance 10k in Exeter, and I just marshalled one of the marshal points and just cheered runners on really in my little high vis. I was also chucking it down with rain, so it wasn't like the greatest volunteer experience, but I did it. And yeah, also didn't have to like run a flat out 10k, which was quite nice. But got to cheer everyone on that was and encourage them to try and reach their goals, which was lovely. So that is 5 of the goals that I shared with you. I then also had 4 more goals that were kind of just almost more habit based, so I didn't really share them because if they're habits, I felt like it'd be a bit strange. So one of these was I wanted to try and upload 24 videos to this channel, and whilst I wasn't the most consistent, that goal was still met, which was great. I managed to upload 32 videos in 2023, which is way over what I wanted to do, which is amazing, especially considering there's a good chunk of the year where I didn't post anything because I didn't know what I was posting. I just got a little bit lost, but we're back and I've been doing a video every week for a little while now, and hopefully that will continue into the next year like I did last year. apart from the middle section. So yeah, that's my goal. We've done 32, so that is more than 2 a month, almost 3 a month, but not quite. And we're going to keep that up next year and it'll still go strong. I then also wanted to do 20 park runs. I know sometimes like that is a habit you have to get into. Like for me, I have to fit it around work, so I have to kind of do park run and then go straight to work. So sometimes if you're not feeling it, you're like, I'll just have an extra little lie-in and go straight to work instead of doing the park run. But I thought 20 park runs, that would be a good goal. That's at least 2 a month, maybe 3 in the summer. And yeah, I did manage to do this. I did 29. Again, at the time I'm filming this, I think there's one more Saturday to go. So that'll be a 30, which is 50% over. So that's what we like to see. I'm hoping that I might put up that goal next year, try and push myself a little bit. 30 park runs. I started with 54 park runs and I've ended on about 83. So definitely we're good to go. I might even get to 100 next year, which is kind of exciting. I think initially when I was setting my goals at the start of this year, I wanted to get 100 park runs because 100 park runs is the black top, and I do wear quite a lot of black running gear. So I thought I haven't bought the 50 or the 25, which I think is available now, because I just want the black one, and I think that's 100. So if I get there, I'll get that one, and then the next one that I want is like a 250. So that will take a while, won't it? That's like 5 years of solidly park running every single week, which I'm definitely not at, considering I've been running park run for a good few years now and I'm nowhere near. I also wanted to lead runs for my club, so I wanted this to become a little bit of a habit and do at least twice a month, running with the club and leading a group that I usually lead. So I usually lead the 9-minute miles. I put 12 because obviously there's a rota, so I'm not really in control about how many times I lead, and once a month felt about a normal kind of pace. It has been a little bit more than that because we have had a few injuries and things like that. So I have led 14 times. I did also lead we do like a half marathon run around the summer solstice, and I led that one. So I got the big one, the big 21k instead of our usual 10ks. And yeah, that was great. So 14 times I have led for the club. So don't be afraid if you are trying to join a club. Like, you will find nice people, although that kind of means that I might be a nice person. So yeah, like, they are normal people that are just trying to help you get around and run. I would say if you are joining a club, like, try and find out what pace ranges they have first, because you don't want to go into a club and find that they don't really have your pace range. And whilst they might be able to accommodate it, if you're new to a club, it's quite nice to turn up and be like, there's a group for me, like, I'm not the only one. And I think sometimes if you're being accommodated for, you kind of feel like, they're having to do something slightly different just because I'm here. So do have a look. The club that I'm at, we have quite a big pace range, but we are kind of finding that the fast runners don't really have a road group at the moment. So if they're running, I think it's like 7-minute miles on the road, there's not really a pace group because most of that group do the track, so we don't have a leader. We do occasionally, but it is something to look out for if you are looking to join a running club, as to what paces they usually run and what nights they are. The club that I go to because they're a Wednesday night and I can make it. Other clubs are Monday nights or Friday nights, so you've got to see which club works for you and also where they are, because if you're traveling quite far, it's even more unlikely that you'll turn up every week, or at least for me it is. I don't know. Would you travel like an hour each week for a running club? Put that down below. Like, how far do you run to get to your running club? Well, actually, you might not even run, you might drive. How far away is your running club and how do you get there? That's a good question, isn't it? So put that down below in the comments so we can all find out where people are located relative to their running club, if you even have a running club. There are also virtual running clubs and things like that, just like Facebook groups and communities to keep you accountable for too. So yeah, the final goal I had wasn't quite running related, but it was going to help me with my running, and that was to do one workout a week. And I actually have no idea if I managed to do this, so I'm gonna get my Strava out and have a look. So I tend to count workouts are slightly different things. So I've got stretching. I think I also count one as like a HIIT, but it's not really a HIIT. And then Pilates, I think, is one of them as well. Just because on Garmin, it's so hard to find like the right kind of thing. So I'm like, I'll just count. I probably should just put them as like cardio or something and have it that way. But let's add them up. It won't be that I did one every week, but it could be that some weeks I did 2 or 3 workouts. So let's have a look. Activities. Oh, okay. It's not. I feel like next year I'm going to have to keep a better tab on what I'm doing. So if I click on here. 53 of them or not. What's the dates? Right, from January 31st. So 11 minutes, does that count? I don't know. I genuinely actually have no idea what that is. Oh, I think it's a transition. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Okay, we're at July now, so I'm going to stop counting and we're going to say, yes, that is a win. I've definitely done at least one a week. So yeah, that is another goal complete, which is amazing. So that means out of, how many goals was that? 9. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6/6.5 if we count that 5k PB, which I think we should. I didn't also mention I also won a little trophy this year, so I'm going to grab that. Dun, 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 dun. So I won first senior female at the half marathon I did in April. I didn't do it particularly fast. It was a traily half marathon, it had quite a lot of elevation, but I beat 2 hours and I was 4th across the line. I was actually the 2nd senior female, but because the first one got one of the overall prizes, I got this one. So yeah, that's cool. That is a good thing to be achieving this year. So if you guys have got any running achievements this year, pop them down below and let us all know so we can all congratulate you and share your excitement. I am going to look at these goals and see where I've been really good, where I've been a little bit struggly, and I will sort out my goals for 2024 and hopefully make them achievable but also a bit of a challenge. That is the goal, isn't it? You don't want them to be too easy, but you also actually want to be able to do them. So yeah, I will see you all next time, guys. Happy running!